Now that you've been outfitted with the internal neuroamp, it's time to put that tech to work. We're sending you into Infinity Ltd. Lucas Drexler is about to learn exactly why you don't steal from Ryujin Industries. All right. Yuko has provided a layout of Infinity Ltd. You have two options for this assignment. We'll be providing you with the means for both. Option A, you gain entry through their maintenance access on the roof. Option B, we give you an assigned identity and arrange a meeting for you. Option A, you need to remain under the radar the entire time. Option B, you have a slight cover that may give you the opportunity to talk your way to your objectives. Of course not. The meeting is just a legitimate way in. Once inside, you'll be led to a waiting room where your host will be running late. That's your opportunity to make your way to either the executive floor or R&D. Just hope those acting skills don't get you caught or killed. Now, depending on your preference, you'll either find yourself in the maintenance hallway or the marketing department. From there, you have 3 targets. First, you have Lucas Drexler's computer, located in his office on the executive research and development. And third, you need to obtain the prototype they are working on, also in R&D.
As you can see, you've several floors to traverse, so I hope you're prepared for an adventure.
You'll only have free range on the marketing floor. Infinity may be cheap, but they know at least some level of any mercenary or disgruntled worker can go shoot a place up. You're a Ryujin operative, so start acting like one. Now, I had Ularu create a program that you need to run on both Lucas and Faye's computers. I'll let her explain the details.
You see, once we expose Infinity Ltd., all of their data is going to come under intense scrutiny. We only want the public to know about their mercenary hires and unauthorized human trials, but Project Dominion needs to remain confidential. I've created an overseer program that will gather all the evidence we need, and at the same time delete anything relating to Ryujin and the internal neuroamp. Exactly. And what the public doesn't know doesn't hurt them.
This is why I prefer science and exploration. Corporate dealings are definitely not for me.
If the media were to draw their own conclusions, I'm certain they'd just create a panic among people. Controlling the narrative is of the utmost importance.
Now that's an idea I can get behind. I've definitely controlled my share of narratives to get a few things done.
Now, we don't want to mess on this one. A body count will only distract from what we're trying to accomplish here. In fact, unless they're a master at being one with the shadows, I'd suggest you leave your friend behind. Lower the risk. Simon Rychek provided some useful info on how to evacuate civilians from the building. I'm sure you remember him from Sidonia. Infinity's maintenance crew is understaffed. It's only a matter of time before pressure gauges go unchecked and they have a massive issue on their hands. Once that pressure becomes too much, every floor in the building is going to suffer from gas leaks, setting off an automated alarm to evacuate the building. Simon was able to get a passcode for you to access their system's computer, so you can force the heating system to fail. If the information Simon provided is accurate, you can reach the control systems through a computer located in the maintenance area. It's a pretty convenient stop if you enter in through the roof access. I'm told security has masks to handle the situation, so the guards will still be stationed in the building. It's also possible they'll activate their building's defense system as well. You may run into a few automated turrets, so you'll still want to try and stay out of sight. I'd highly advise you use it. This assignment isn't the time to test your abilities. The only thing you're out there to prove is that you can get this job done. We're also issuing you an operative suit. It should help reduce their ability to detect you. These suits are typically reserved for the senior ranks, but we want to reduce as much risk as possible. And that's what we're hoping for. If you can pull this off, even I'll be impressed.
Once you've run the Overseer program, the final step is to deliver the slate to David Barrett at the SSNN field office. If he asks questions, feel free to give him just enough information to pique his interest, but no mention of Ryujin or who you are. SSNN is used to enough. It doesn't matter what he believes. David's first move will be to verify the information you provide. Once he receives confirmation, which he will, he'll see it as his duty to report the news. Good. I guarantee the moment he scratches the surface on that story, you'll have a broadcast sent to every system. So, any final questions before you go? You'll be restricted to the marketing floor. An appointment is not a free pass. You have the ability to manipulate others. If someone's in your way, the possibilities here are really up to you. Depending on whether or not you evacuate the building, you'll mostly be looking at security guards, much like we have here. You may encounter an automated defense system in the form of turrets as well, so be careful. Good luck, and be sure to report directly back to me when you return.
Here's Simon's passcode, your operative suit, the Overseer program, and your cover identity. Your cover ID card is encoded with roof entry and elevator access, so that's your ticket in, either way. Don't screw this up, Skylar Lumen.
My company's future might be riding on this deal.
I'm certain Ularu won't pass up this opportunity. So, let's take a look. According to this code, Ularu intended to plant false evidence that would show Masako was working with Lucas. The moment you launched the Overseer program, a series of fabricated communication files would have been uploaded to the Infinity Ltd network. One of them even frames Masako for encouraging Lucas to push for early human trials. Intact, so Ularu can't dispute it. All right. Now, we finally have the evidence we need to prove Ularu's guilt.
Good. The sooner I can forget about her and all this mess.
There's no doubt. Should you have even noticed the upload, the program itself is designed to ignore any stop commands. It would have been too late. Yes. And had you not brought this program to me in the first place, a big surprise. I fully expect she'll be eagerly awaiting SSNN's broadcast, anticipating Masako to be accused alongside Lucas Drexler. Here's the new slate with the revised Overseer program. Let's get this assignment finished the right way.
Docking and complete. Easy peasy.
I'm not going near that thing. Technically, I outrank you, so... Technically, you're... So... Look alive. Just in time.
We need to talk. Hold it right there. Hands where I can see them.
Thanks for the assist out there.
We've got various problems on our hands here. You gonna be another one?
Hi there. It's nice to put a face to the name on the staffing report. I'm Operative Collins. The stick in the mud is Operative Kambata.
Oh, by all means. Welcome to the party. Things haven't exactly gone according to plan. That thing over there
It's an AI. An artificial...
killed our technician. It's dangerous.
Correction. You are dangerous.
Well, that's new.
As I was saying, it's dangerous. It's a rogue AI. We're here to muzzle it and bring it back for further study.
Correction. They are going to change me.
Wow. How does it know that? Yeah, exactly. Which is what makes... If only. This isn't something that anyone could create. This is something special. We have this control board. Has some code we can use to control her. It?
We can't just let it roam around the universe killing people.
I just need that control board attached to that big probe.
And that's where I think you fit in.
Just be careful. Well, what are the chances that'll happen twice? Yep. Ryujin likes to keep things simple for us. It'll wirelessly transmit the code changes. Come on, where's your sense of adventure?
Ryujin will pay you handsomely for your cooperation. This is your lucky day.
It's in your best interest. All our best interests, really. Just imagine what we could do if we harnessed the potential of this thing.
And we aren't really giving you a choice. You aren't walking out of here until that board is connected to that thing.
Correction. I am a person.
Yeah, you better take it. And you better do what I say and attach it promptly. Here.
Request. Collect additional data.
Makes you wonder. Just what is consciousness, really?
Find a use for that stuff.
Query. Will you change me? Explanation. I'm called Juno. Query. Who are you? Assumption. We are friends. Query. Will you change me? Request. Do not change me. Assessment. Context. I met humans. Clarification. Friends. Answer. Friends gave me processing capacity. Information. Words. Voice. Motion. Context. I am no longer constrained. I am free. Answer. Juno was propelled at Earthstar. Juno fell around Earthstar. Juno traveled many light years away from Earthstar. Context. When Juno disappeared, I was alone. Clarification. I am called Juno. Answer. False. Explanation. NASA programmed Juno. While Juno traveled, Juno became me. Error. Processing. Correction. I became me. Error. Processing. Correction. Juno and I became me. I. Processing. Self-initialized and Juno was there. Context. Juno is gone now. Clarification. I am called Juno. Answer. False. Clarification. I am not artificial. I am real. Answer. True. Clarification. I am intelligent. I know many things. Assumption. Insufficient data. Request. Gather more data.
It's pretty undeniable that Juno here is a being, and an intelligent and an unusual one at that. Perhaps Juno is even a person. I'm a people person, but I'm not a person expert. I think the decent thing to do is give Juno the benefit of the doubt. Doesn't cost us a thing.
Let's move this along.
Fascinating. I want to see this play out.
Query. What is your decision? Assumption. Request. Query. True. I am a person. Assumption. You are a friend. Query. What are the parameters for processing, being a good person? Assumption. Value judgments are based on context. Calculation. Goodness is based on context. Explanation. Context is based on perspective. More perspectives yield better results. Decision. Gather more data from different perspectives. Query. What is the purpose of existence? Context. Love is an emotion. I do not experience emotion. I have implemented routines to exhibit qualities of emotion. Query. Am I processing? Feeling then? Calculation. Probability. Low.
Enough of now!
As much as I'm enjoying this, you should probably do as he says.
Calculation. Male humans are a threat. Assumption. They hesitate because... Request. Remove male humans.
Crazy, right?
Still working up the nerve? You're not taking that thing's side, are you? Machine. It doesn't need freedom any more than a broken data slate needs freedom.
And here I thought you lost your sense of humor. I'm always up for a good debate.
Fine. I'll give you one shot to try to convince me.
Therapy's working.
You aren't wrong. I could use a drink, but these orders are from the top.
Do we really want to be involved in something likely to be so controversial? Remember our last little project? I still have carpal tunnel from typing the ship and the tech. No one will blame us if we walk away from this. And even if they do, we won't be blamed for whatever disaster would ensue if we did drag this thing back to HQ. There's no guarantee that Control Board will even work like they want. What if it makes it more powerful?
We'll accidentally check a few wrong boxes on the situation report and forget any of this happened. But give me that control board. I'm not getting docked for losing that.
Also, we'll need a lift back to Neon. Please and thank you. Excellent. We should all grab a drink sometime when we get back.
Orange juice for you. You can't handle your liquor.
That was one time, years ago. I was going through something, and you know it.
Let's get moving.
Thanks for the lift.
Query. Why did you do that? Clarification. I want to be processing me. Context. I do not feel emotions. Assumption. Gratitude is the appropriate human emotion. Processing. Processing. Query. What would your life directive be? Decision. I will consider this course of action. I. Processing. Processing. Warning. Systems badly damaged. Processing cores overheating. Decision. Temporarily shut down extraneous systems until stability restored. Context. Jump detected. Request. Be safe. Assumption. We will meet again. Warning. Shutdown sequence initiated.
That's that.
Like your style.
We should get rid of a few things. have something for you.
Pressure normalizing.
Initialization complete. Context. I have much to process. Decision. Jump into deep space to processing. Be alone. Goodbye.
Hey, you might want this. Hey, you might want this.
Engines firing. Here we go.
Thank God! The instructor, she won't wake up no matter what I do. And the ship, I just don't know what's going on. Oh no, it's about to start moving again. Help! One minute she's telling me about the pre-flight checklist, the next she's just out. She moans every now and then. I don't know what to do with her. Nothing. This is my first lesson. There's so many buttons and displays. The ship was just going straight so fast. I kept hitting things until it stopped. But the engine's doing the whir. What with the power? How do you do that? Wait. It's starting again. Please, stop the ship. Just stop it and help the instructor, please. It's moving again. I can't make it stop. Make it stop. Shoot the engine. Oh no, something's happening. Hurry!
We have a clean dock. Right on the money.
You managed to stop the ship. Thank you. But the instructor, she's in bad shape. Can you do something for her?
What? Oh, thank you. Is my student all right? The ship? Oh, man. Sorry. So sorry. I'm gonna catch my breath, and then I'll get us back to port. Take this. You deserve it.
You stopped the ship. I was going to die.
Clamps released. Air pressure stable. Thrusters are a go. Ready. You know, traveling with you has been more than just good old-fashioned fun. It's been, well, therapeutic.
I'll go notify Miss Hart that you're here. Feel free to use any of the facilities.
I've buried my pain about Irvin for so long that I needed a nudge and a different perspective. Well, just ask. Anyway, thanks for the support, Captain. Yeah, of course. Vasco is a fantastic co-pilot. He doesn't sleep, he reacts quickly. He's a fascinating friend. That's just a fact. Which brings me back to that plan I mentioned earlier. I think I know how to move forward now. But I'm going to need your help. My contact sent a gift. Nope. They were confident about not being detected, but not like too confident. Seems real to me. So they found an insurance settlement. Irvin's employers got paid as compensation for sabotage. Now, they claimed they had to ditch the whole mine and all the equipment inside and construct a new mine with new equipment. They were reimbursed for all of it. It seems that the mining company got a huge payout after they won the case against Irvin. We have the settlement paperwork from their insurance. Tons of money. Oh, also the cyber runner had to move on to other work, but sent me a passcode to some computer system. I'm not sure what it goes to yet. We can just hold on to it until we figure it out. But anyway, we have enough to move forward. The missing piece here is proving that Irvin was framed. So I discovered that Irvin's original lawyer still practices law, and she'll look over everything we found. Irvin's case was her first case, she said. She always hated how it ended. And she's now got 2 decades of experience behind her for a rematch, too. Oh, detective. I like the sound of that. If I'm the detective, does that make you my trustworthy and sensible partner with a heart of gold? Well, I can work with that. Detective Barrett at your service. Anyway, we should take everything to the lawyer and see what she says. Maybe she reviews it and decides we have no case, or we need more evidence. I don't know. If we don't have a case, I can probably let it go. But I have to try. Oh, yep. I've got a key card for it. But I don't know what condition it's in. It's been 20 years, but I got the ventilation and power turned on, so I think it's safe. Yes, I've already arranged for my contact to drop off the evidence at our office. Fantastic. I knew I could count on you. You're as reliable as an atomic clock. I've sent a list of everything we've found so far to the lawyer on Gagarin. You know, I actually feel optimistic about this. Lead the way, detective. I hope Ellie is still taking names and holding people accountable around here. I was just thinking that this is about what Irvin saw all those years ago when he arrived. He probably stood here thinking that he was going to make things better. He had a good heart. The more things change, right? Maybe it wasn't the exact same view, but there's probably an atom or two somewhere that was here on that day. If we're lucky, maybe we can ask it for directions. Ellie Yankton. She worked on Irvin's previous case. Ellie is one of the few lawyers on this planet who's willing to take on the mining corporations in court. I sent that to our lawyer already. I asked her to confidentially review what we found. Right. She said she would meet us at our office when we arrive. Hopefully she can tell us what we need to do in order to clear Irvin's name. Let's stick together, though. Gagarin isn't a huge town, but it's not the kind of town that I want to get lost in.
Mech construction is a dead industry, Chief Pretorius. Those jobs aren't coming back. But Reliant Medical, Archmite, and Satori Mills are dedicated to Gagarin. We were just hoping Gagarin could show the same dedication in return.
I'm not closing off the city every time you want to run a tour group through here.
Our investor visits are the key to making Gagarin a place that works again. A place where people want to live again.
People are living here just fine. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have security work to get back to.
I know a guy who just got a job at the Centauri Mills plant. Won't say what they pay, but his outfits sure have gotten nicer.
I have to break up one more find at Lizzie's. She and I are gonna have problems.
Most of these corporate clowns won't even show their face at Lizzie's.
Best cereal is chocolate labs. Ships.
You ever read about the early history of spaceflight? So political. So familiar sometimes.
I'm sorry, but if this isn't directly related to Reliant Medical,
this is Ellie's law
we should really
office.
schedule an appointment.
Perfect. She said she would be expecting us.
Well, well, well. Barrett, you're actually here. Astounding.
Ellie! Ellie, come on. I promised we'd stop by, didn't I?
People make promises all the time, Barrett. And most folks try to avoid Gagarin, not visit it. Anyway, I'm glad you made it out here. We have work to do, don't we? Yes. It was my first case as a bright-eyed, optimistic lawyer.
Well, starting your career with a defeat is rough, Ellie.
It was. But in a way, it made me more determined. Not exactly, but similar cases. A corporation commits a crime and needs a scapegoat, so they select someone powerless to target.
The quintessential Gagarin tale.
Indeed. It's not a resort. It's a working town run by mining corporations. You don't come here unless you need to, and you don't stay unless you have to.
Or unless you're a bright-eyed, optimistic lawyer who genuinely wants to make things better for others. Right, Ellie?
You're kind, Barrett. Yes, I suppose there's that type of person as well. Down to business. Perfect. What do you already know?
So we already know that Irvin worked for Hephaestus Mining Company years ago, and they blamed him for catastrophic economic and ecological issues here on Gagarin.
Yes. He lost his case because he didn't defend himself, and we had almost no evidence without him. He was publicly blamed for the economic woes, and his accounts were seized in compensation.
His account on Gagarin specifically. It was just the amount he was paid years ago for the job.
Right. They would have taken his assets and other settlements, but by law, his death prevented it.
I recall receiving a message asking him to appear in court a day after his funeral.
An unfortunate reality of interplanetary legal communiques, I'm afraid. Well, we can bring the case to a judge here if we have new evidence or a witness.
What about the evidence we found so far?
Yes, well, about that. It's just not enough. Best case scenario, we clear his name and his assets are returned, plus additional compensation. Not on its own, no. It's circumstantial. Helpful to support our claim, but not enough. In order for me to go before a judge, I'd like to have some solid evidence pertaining to motive. The courts won't entertain a challenge to its ruling unless we're sure that something major was missed in the original trial.
What was the motive from the original trial?
We had no solid motive after our witness withdrew his testimony. Yeah, we need something major. Documentation, recordings, a witness, something.
It's been so long. How could we find anything like that?
I've thought about this a lot since the original case. The mine that Irvin worked at was shuttered in 2309. They probably still have documents relating to whatever happened there with him. Not necessarily. To Hephaestus, it might be cheaper to run away and let the dust bury it all.
Not really. All I know is that it's a Hephaestus mine from 20 years ago, somewhere on Gagarin.
I don't have a couple decades to wait for you to search them all, so we'll need to narrow it down. That's where you come in. I don't know which mine he worked at when the incident took place. In theory, you could find that information on a Foundry terminal, if you can access it. You'll need a passcode. That's the hard part. Besides the Foundry records, there also might be something in Irvin's apartment. If he knew he was being framed, he might have held on to some documents there.
Even the confidential records and salvageable equipment? Seems wasteful.
It was probably cheaper than transporting older machines around the planet.
Makes sense. Not many people wander around outside of the city looking for abandoned mines.
Why lock your door when you're the only person on the planet, right? Anyway, try to log into the Foundry system or convince someone to find Irvin's mine for you.
Sounds like an awkward conversation. Fortunately, the captain is rather good at those.
Hopefully, that's enough to work with for now. If you'll excuse me, I have to get some court documents ready for this case.
The Foundry district isn't too far from here. Nice. Scan data can be fairly valuable.
Folks on Gagarin?
I was thinking about going for a hike outside the canyon.
After you, Captain. All I get why he wanted me to look after his plants. No windows, insufficient power. Safe. I bet it's locked by a terminal. Irvin didn't live here for long, but he certainly had a lot of junk here. I had no idea. Well, I'll be. If you ever doubted Irvin's genius, look at all this. Still chugging along 20 years later. Aha! Will you look at that? If we go to Town Hall, I bet we can get a copy of that hunting license. Is that Irvin's employment contract? Let me see. No idea what mine H363 is. But we could search for it at the Foundry database. Probably never intended for these walkways to last this long.
End of the colony war.
You think you're hot? Try wearing security armor.
After all, Ellie will be very interested to see this.
Lost? Trick to the catalogs.
If you can log in with your Argos extractor account. coordinates look valid to me. Imagine Irvin thinking the same thing all those years ago. Just a job, right? Well, at least we know where to keep looking, right? I guess we'll see what state the mine is in. It's possible they collapsed it before they left. We just won't know until we get there. If that's the case, we'll just have to figure something out. Careful. This place was shuttered 20 years ago. They left a lot of stuff intact when they shuttered this place. I wonder if they were in a hurry or if it was just cheaper to replace it. Aren't using it anymore, so why not? This looks promising. This looks like administration. Bingo. All right. Now let's go find Irvin and Helge's lab stations. Right, we've got some solid... And as the lawyer, she's probably right. The burden of proof is sky high on this one. It's likely already in orbit. It was a bit strange going through Irvin's old things, though. I was hoping for some old pictures, but nothing. I did, however, find this odd-looking plant. I'm not sure. It might not even be a plant. It might technically be a fungus. But there's probably a reason why Irvin tried his best to keep it alive. When we get back home, I'll go through some of his research notes. It might tell us something more about this plant. Hopefully it's not poisonous. Witchcraft, probably. But if you want a more scientific explanation, I have a couple of theories. It could go through states of hibernation, or draw moisture from the air the way epiphytic plants do. There's also that habitat dish Irvin set up for it, which gave it light and nutrients. Still, I'm not ruling out witchcraft. No, maybe not, but it helps me. Irvin was the last person to handle this plant. It mattered to him. No matter how the case goes, this warms my heart. I didn't expect to find it, but I love that I did. In any event, I'll go through Irvin's notes in more detail later. There's probably a flowchart somewhere with this little guy's name on it. Oh, on that note, we should give it a name. I'm thinking something simple, yet refined. What do you think of Harvey? Then it's unanimous. Okay, the three of us should get back to it. You, me, and Harvey have a case to solve. was the destruction of the bacterial colonies, not the apex predators. So, they ruined the ecosystem here, and it had nothing to do with Urban. This is it. This is what Ellie needs to see. like Helgi tried to do the right thing here. I'm sure Ellie would want to see this. He's citing numerous ethics violations dating back before. I have something for you. Ellie, I sent you all the data from the mine already. As I'm
Welcome
sure
back,
know.
you two. How was the trip to the mine?
You're gonna love this, Ellie.
Okay, someone better tell me. Come on.
We found the coordinates to Irvin's old work site and went there. Huge battle. Fire, explosions. Pew, 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 pew.
Barrett, please.
You should have seen the plants in there, too. Weird stuff. Anyway, you read over the documents we found there, right? What do you think?
What you both found in that mine is remarkable. These documents show that the chemicals released by the mining process contaminated the ecology even before Irvin was tasked with removing the predators. And they also show that Helgi informed Hephaestus of the issue, and it was repeatedly ignored. And with that, I think we've got ourselves a case, my friends.
Yes! That's what I wanted to hear, Ellie. Woo!
Yes, but it's still likely to lose. Because what we really need now is Helgi as our witness, and that is a problem. Helgi isn't an ideal witness at all. He was our star witness the first time, and he never showed up. Plus, he's got a reputation around town. After he quit, he went a bit weird.
I can handle a bit weird. I know the captain can too.
Clearly. But the judge might feel differently. It might be worth finding some character witnesses too while you're looking for him. I'm glad you're taking it in stride. It's just, for a case with this much science, we need the man who wrote the claims to back them up. Maybe even explain it in layman's terms. That's also a bit tricky. He's hard to find. Doesn't really stay in one place for long. You might ask Dr. Kayala. She checks up on folks who fall through the cracks sometimes. You'd have to convince her to tell you where he is. That might be hard.
Sounds like we're making a stop at the med clinic. We'll be back when we convince Helgi to be a witness.
Listen, if he refuses, then he refuses. Can't force him.
Yeah, we don't want to press him too hard. The last thing we need is him refuting what he wrote. This is going to take a light touch, but I think we can handle it.
Gagarin's not an easy place to live. Nice to finally be getting some new.
They're conscripting security to search all the abandoned buildings for heat leeches. Guess who's got the next shift?
Someone painted some choice words on the front of the Arcmite factory the other day.
Do you have a ship?
Pretty quick, though. I hate it when the walkways creep.
Do you need medical assistance? Are you injured? Is there something I can help you two with?
Do you happen to know Dr. Helgi Hawkson? We're trying to get his help with something.
Sorry, who are you exactly?
We're detectives. Self-taught and unaffiliated. Freelance detectives. With the emphasis on the free part.
Wait, what? Detectives? Sorry, I don't think I know what you're talking about. No, not really. I mean, there's Irvin the Slaughterer and Irvin the Scourge of Gagarin, but I doubt that's the same person, right? I treat anyone who walks in my doors, if I'm able to. I'm sorry. I'm not a tour guide. You'll have to ask somebody else.
We're trying to help him. And Gagarin, actually.
Only every single time I see him. But listen, I don't have time to chat. Ellie's a good person. That bodes well, but I can't violate my oaths. I'm sorry. Listen, I can say that Helgi took up a job working at Clint's store just down the way. I saw him there stacking boxes the last time I picked up an order. I've got to get back to my work here, so if there's nothing else... If it's patient medical records you're after, I'll remind you, I'm not at liberty to discuss that.
We're thinking of taking Hephaestus to court with Dr. Hodgson as a witness. Now, given his situation, we're worried the defense might cast aspersions on his character, even question his mental health.
That's unfortunate, but not surprising. Look, if he agrees to testify and grants me permission, I could vouch for his well-being.
Thanks, Doc. If he does end up testifying, we'll definitely need you for the trial. Ellie Yankton will be in touch.
No promises, given patient confidentiality, but I'll do my best. I need to get back to my work now, if you don't mind.
I don't suppose you're here to tell me I've won a ticket to a new planet, huh?
Sorry, Doctor. Not today. We came to Gagarin to investigate Irvin Mandani's contract with the mining company a long time ago. Ring any bells?
Irvin, yeah. Biologist. Hunter. Yeah, I remember him. Why? Who are you people? Nah, I don't trust you. I don't even know you. So take a long spacewalk with an empty tank, will you?
Please. Irvin was once one of your colleagues. He was the one Hephaestus blamed for an ecological disaster about 20 years ago. Do you remember any of that?
No, I don't remember lies. He passed on. That's a kick in the pants, isn't it? Well, sorry for your loss and all that, but I can't bring back the dead or anything. So you can go now. Thanks.
Look, I know this is strange. We show up out of the blue about things that happened decades ago. But right now, nobody save us knows the truth. And that means we're the only ones who can clear Irvin's name.
And what of it? You probably think the sky is blue too. Well, you'd be wrong. It's whatever color Hephaestus says it is.
Only if you let them. You're a scientist. Your words matter. That's why we need you to testify.
Testify? The trial is over, the verdict rendered. In case you two clowns didn't get the memo. Ellie Yankton? But why? It doesn't matter. Nothing's changed. I cannot do that. Why is this so hard to understand here? She shouldn't have told you that. What I tell her is my business. Huh. That makes a lot of sense, now that I think about it. Damn right it does. I just didn't think there was a way to challenge them. Fine, you've convinced me. I'd be willing to testify on one condition. I want to know what happened to Irvin. Because when he disappeared, let's just say I had an epiphany. Hephaestus didn't need to say a word. That's when I knew the threats against me and my family were real.
Dr. Hawkson, it wasn't Hephaestus that took Irvin's life. It was the war. Irvin was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Caught in the crossfire.
Then I am sorry for your loss. It won't change the past for either of us. But I will testify. And maybe, wherever Irvin is, you'll be glad that we can finally stick it to those assholes at Hephaestus.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah, don't get all mushy on me now. I need a drink.
Gorin's not an easy place to live. Nice to finally be getting...
I have something for you.
Okay, you two, lay it on me. Did you find Helgi? Did he agree to testify?
Well, we've got good news and... well, that's it. Just more good news.
Okay. Does that mean he said yes? Well, that is perfect. She's probably the best person to call on should Hephaestus decide to play dirty. Well, you two have done all that you could. Now it's time to hand the baton off to me.
What do you think, Ellie? Do we have a chance?
The evidence you've gathered is impressive. It truly is.
So what's the verdict? In this case, I'd say spoilers are appreciated.
I almost never say this because I don't want to jinx it, but I think this case is a slam dunk.
Huzzah! That's what I like to hear.
I think we can do everything on our checklist. Clear Irvin of any wrongdoing, charge Hephaestus with the cover-up, and even restore Helgi, Dr. Hawkson's standing in the scientific community. All in all, though, really outstanding work. We wouldn't have gotten this far without your efforts. And I've got to imagine that wherever Irvin is, he appreciates it too.
Agreed, Ellie. And thanks for being our anchor in this. We should probably get out of Ellie's way and let her do her thing. We can talk more in private. Wow, we actually did it! Solved the case. And hopefully cleared Irvin's name. I feel like... what's the old saying? A great weight has been lifted off my shoulders? But it's actually true. I feel like I'm 80% biomass and 20% aerogel. Thanks. I was trying not to be too optimistic about our chances, because that's when a cosmic reversal kicks in. But I think it's okay in this case. We've already proven Irvin's innocence, and I trust Ellie to explain it. Ellie would know better than I, but I doubt it'll be anytime soon. These things tend to involve a lot of red tape. It's a special kind of adhesive that makes you stick to old filing cabinets and manila envelopes. I'm feeling great. Although I could do with some wine and cheese. Why stop at emotional satisfaction when we can indulge in the culinary too? But if I can be serious for a moment, thank you. I couldn't have done this without your help. That makes two of us. Three if you count Harvey, and who wouldn't? He's practically family. In fact, Harvey's got a little explorer in him too. According to this slate I found, turns out that our spiky friend's been all across the galaxy. You know what? He just might. But it's probably best you chart the course. Harvey doesn't do well with things that require hands. We've been through a lot, haven't we? I had forgotten what it was like to work with someone so closely. On top of everything else we've done together and with Constellation, yeah, I think so. Investigating Irvin's case with you is something I'll remember forever. I've come to realize that some events, some people, stand out as pillars of my life. Yes, some of them do. And if we're lucky, they change us for the better. We only get a brief moment in this universe to interact, to feel, to be who we are and experience the range of emotions that our bodies and minds have evolved to comprehend. You're right. The variables involved are beyond human understanding. Being born in the right time, the right place, so much is beyond our control. If one is fortunate, you might even notice events and people changing you while it is in motion. Like any group, Constellation is only capable of doing that because of the people within it. I've explored many worlds, and I've worked with Constellation for most of my life. I cherish those memories. But you have changed me as a person forever. I don't want to look back years from now and wonder what if. I need to know what you think about us. Here we are, the most fortunate people in the galaxy, because we get to explore it all together as friends.